Oh, hi. I don't know what my hair's doing. Well, I went to the lobby, and since I was already drinking vodka, sometimes it's just okay to make a martini with vodka. Sometimes. Not all the time. What do we got here? Remember, I thought the poster would tell us, and it did. That's French for and. Dr. Orloff and the Invisible Man. I'm not going to butcher that for you. But apparently this was a French movie. What's it say here? Well, of course it's a French movie. We'll get to the director. Isabel Del Rio, Yvonne Hanska. Yeah, like most of the Euro trash from the 70s, it's a joint effort. In cinema, the European Union already existed. Take a close look. What do we got going on here? Yeah, that doesn't really sum up the film, does it? I call this a film. Like it's a cinematic masterpiece. It's not. But listen. Dr. Orloff and the Invisible Man. 1970 Celia Films. So we're right on that cusp, right where we switched from the 60s to the 70s. Now, I was 4 then, so I don't remember very well. But all my memories are fond. It was before I went to clown college and joined the circus. Things were good. Let's get back on track here. 1970 Celia Films. The director, Pierre Chevalier. Might be French. Might be Irish. Might be Scottish, like me. Wait, my mom's German. Chevalier. Maybe he's German. Okay. A handsome doctor is summoned to a remote castle, but knows not who his patient is. Listen to me, I sound like a real film critic. That's the funniest thing I've read in weeks. He knows not who his patient is. The maid is crazy, the butler not much better, and the owner of the castle, Professor Orloff, is a bit of a strange one. Only Orloff's daughter, Cecile, seems to have any sanity left. We'll see for how long, huh? As Dr. Orloff regales Dr. Garandet with tales of his daughter's passing, burial, with all of her jewels and subsequent grave robbery, from which she awoke, I know that's a lot to take in. What do they say nowadays? That's a lot to unpack. The thieves being his servants, Orloff hunted them down and locked them away in the dungeon. Oh, and by the way, how about some wine from his invisible servant? Don't you guys have an invisible servant? Why, thank you, Jeeves. It's got vermouth in it. It's as good as wine, right? Faithful, invisible servant. Well, okay. Hold up. Trigger warning. I'll put this in the description. We have a rape. You've been warned. After being caught watching the invisible man rape the maid, and I put an exclamation point there, apparently this was a thing in the 70s. Maybe it's still a thing now. I was just involved in a conversation where we were talking about rape scenes being the equivalent of sex scenes in movies, just to be edgy, I think. That was certainly the case in the 70s. And maybe still today, if you're a jackass. Anyway, Orloff realizes he has told the doctor too much and locks him away. With the help of Cecile, the doctor escapes and spreads flour on the floor. Baking flour. So they can trap the unseen creep who violated Cecile. Now that he has tasted blood, the invisible man wants more. And he rips the clothes off of Cecile. But Garandet throws flour at him. And now our invisible man is revealed. I don't know about revealed, but covered with flour. I wrote here, this is more dramatic. Throws flour on him and reveals the true monster. Again, I almost sound like a real film critic. All right. Let's sum it up, shall we? Low budget, but well acted, suspenseful, and entertaining. Watching the actors wrestle with the invisible man. Now picture you're at an audition and they tell you, okay, you got to wrestle with this invisible man. Go. Then they film it, and that's the movie. I mean, seriously. It's pretty funny. And Cecile has an enormous bush, even by 70s standards. Why, it's almost a monster itself. I shouldn't say that. I miss shag carpet. This one wasn't bad. And here we go again. Are we ready? I'm going to try. It's a three-ring circus tonight on the Late Night Picture Show. Both movies. The Ghoul and Dr. Orloff and the Invisible Man. I don't know why that hurts my hand. I don't know why it's a problem. Monkey's here. To pick some movies for next week. I'm actually filming on a Saturday night. What's up with that? That was probably really loud. I used to record the show solely on my laptop, camera and mic, but now I have this fancy ass microphone, so I'm sure that was really loud. Well, you know, that's all right. Now this is just dumb luck. Because we were just talking about bushes. And next week's subject posed in Playboy, and she had a magnificent bush. Her name was Margot Kidder. Maybe you've heard of her. It's the Brian De Palma classic Sisters, followed by the Amityville Horror, 1970s edition, not this new one. Although maybe we'll talk about it. I did see it, and it wasn't bad, but it didn't have Margot Kidder in it. Really? Unless she had a cameo that I didn't notice. She got older. I wrote a comic strip when I was on the road. And I wrote a strip where the main character, his name was Cuban Frank, goes out to the desert and he finds what he thinks is the ghost of Margot Kidder. And he comes back and he tells everyone that she told him to start a religion. Now it's too late to do that because Margot Kidder actually died. So we're going to honor Margot Kidder next week with Sisters and the Amityville Horror. Be sure to tune in. Now, if you like this crap that I produce, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, give me a thumbs down. Leave some comments, like my good friend Mormo. He leaves some comments, and maybe I'll ask Mormo, since he does some mukbang on his channel, Mormozine. Look it up. Maybe I'll put a link to it. Since he does some mukbang, maybe I'll have him recommend some snacks to go with next week's feature. I got the drinks covered. But maybe Mormo can tell you what to eat in between beverages. Myself, I try to get half my caloric intake from alcoholic beverages on the weekend. Weekdays, yeah, I'm pretty much straight and narrow. See you next week, kids, with a Margot Kidder double feature.